Somebody's phone's going off. What up, Fam Jam? YouTube, Facebook. It is your two favorite hat-wearing people in all of social media land.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let's go. It's Jay.
And Jesse. And you are watching Impact TV. Would you look at it?
Would you look at it?
We're just popping in here, guys. Say hi. We know it's been a while. Life's been crazy, but there's been a lot of things being put together underneath the hood, and we're getting some stuff rolling. So we're just going to talk about some stuff we got going on, just some procedural changes, even with how we're putting our stuff out on social media with online church. We've got meetings happening. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. And we're excited about it. We're excited to just see what 2021 has to offer as things get rolling in new directions, but just building. We're just building on to what we've already been doing. So up to this point, we just want to say thank you, first of all, to everybody that has tuned in, that calls themselves a part of Impact. Whether you're near or far, it doesn't matter. We just want to say thank you, and we hope that you are going to be as excited as we are about what's coming up. Pastor Jay, what do we have going on? What's happening?
Man, we have so much going on. I know that like the biggest thing that's on my mind right now is our South Campus relaunch. I am so excited about that because we are all going to get to come together again. I think as things are opening up, it's important to come together, assemble together. And what I'm hearing is a lot of people want that. A lot of people want to get back together and to have worship, have a message, have church together. So that's happening on actually March 7th, which is this Sunday coming up. This Sunday at 3 p.m. at Greenbrier Community Church.
Yeah. But there's actually a sweet little trailer video we can play for you right now.
There you go.
There's no audio. Why is there no audio? I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. Because
let's fix it. Let me try it again. Hold on. No? Oh, no, that's just a graphic. Here's the video. Coming up in March is the relaunch of our Impact Church South Campus. We hope that you will join us, and everyone is welcome. Our first meeting will be Sunday, March 7th at 3 p.m. at Greenbrier Community Church. Their address is 825 Greenbrier Parkway in Chesapeake. Social distancing will be practiced, and all CDC guidelines will be followed for your safety. We hope to see you there. Yeah, how about that outro music? I was just jamming to it. So we're excited.
Cranking
March.
So
March, we are meeting twice in March. One is the 7th, and then the next one is the 21st. So twice in March. Then after that, Pastor Jay, we are having a drive-in service at our West Campus for the Easters. We are working on some
Easters.
For the Easters. We're working on getting that more organized. But if you are on our Facebook channel, you will see in events that we have the relaunch up there, so you can see the information going on, and we will have more information on the other stuff rolling out as it comes.
Yeah, we also have I don't know how soon we're going to do it, but we're trying to do it as soon as possible. Switching over until just using Facebook Live to actually using YouTube, but the link will be on Facebook when we go live for service for our Sunday morning service at 10:30. And you can go for that one. You can go to goimpact.tv.com, right?
No,
goimpacttv.com.
Go Impact VA. So our normal website is goimpactva.com. This is goimpactva.tv. And it's really just this sweet little landing page that'll take you straight to the online church video that's being aired at 10:30, same time every Sunday. But there's also a link to just jump straight to our channel so you can watch all the other videos that we've had recently. There's a playlist here for Thursday Thoughts. There's even a playlist for Pastor Robbie's very own Let's Talk Impact, and we're just going to keep organizing and presenting stuff there because we want to put out great content. We want to make it easy for you guys to find it, not have everything in a million places. So go impactva.tv is the new home for all online church activity, especially Pastor Jay, as we get our other campuses rolling, as we start meeting in person again. Super excited about at our South Campus and in our West Campus. We want to give everybody a place that they can call home, at least one place or more. So if you can think about go impactva.tv as our online church home, then that will make it a lot easier for everybody.
Yeah. So things are moving, things are shaking. And I know some people's probably been sitting at home like, man, I've been sitting at home waiting for the church to open, but now you guys get a chance to come and assemble together. I think that it's really, really exciting. So please be there, 3 p.m. At Greenbrier Community Church. Can you put that flyer up real quick, Jesse? You don't have to put it together. Flyer right there. All right. So that location is 825 Greenbrier Parkway, Chesapeake, Virginia, 23320. Don't miss it. We want to see you guys there. There will be some worship, but also Pastor Robbie will be sharing what's going on with our South Campus building. Right. So if you've been wondering, like, what's going on with the building, you'll get the chance to really see what's going on with the building, what's going on with the land, what the plan is, how soon we'll be opening that new campus. But we want you guys to be a part of it. And we have to understand this. We need you to be a part of it because it takes all of us, 2 or 3 gathered in his name, there he will be. So we need you guys to be there. We want you guys to have fun. Wear your mask because we are asking for everybody to wear your mask. We're asking for everybody to sit with the family that they came with. Try not to be jumping from seat to seat. I know you're going to be, glad that you see people, but we're really trying to make sure that we're keeping social distancing. And shout out to Pastor Anthony and Pastor Morgan and their team for allowing us to come in and using their church. I don't know about you, but have you ever let somebody just come in and use your home? It can be taxing, it can be tiring, but they have agreed and praying for us and willing to stand by our side as we build a new church. And there will be some kind of way we can repay that favor for them, Impact Church. We're going to come up with it, and we want you guys to stay tuned for that information for that time to do that.
Yep. Actually, I'm looking in the comments. What's up, everybody? Michael Apker. Hello, sir. And Sabrina. Hello, young lady. Also, ignore what this says in the comments. Let me put the actual go impactva.tv. This is a link that you're going to want to go to. Also, it's a new month. And so we have a brand new sermon series starting this Sunday, kicking off with online church. And we've got this sweet graphic here, which is this Sunday, online church at 10:30 a.m. We have miracles. Watch it. You can watch exclusively at goimpactva.tv. There's that link again. Also have a treat for you guys. So it just so happens that Pastor Jay and I are kicking off this sermon series, and we have a little trailer for you, a little nugget, a little sprinkling, a little appetizer. So let me pull this in here so you can experience this glorious little post. It's set up for Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and it'll actually go out tomorrow. But you get a sneak peek right now because you're watching Thursday Thoughts with Jay and Jesse, and we do what we want. We like you. So here you go. Let's check it out. Jay, you look cute already. Just look at that angle. It's good. All right. Here we go.
There's this beautiful flower called realization, and that flower only grows in the desert.
In 2020, the landscape of your life and our world is different.
Whatever way that I have to get to Jesus, I'm going to get there.
He's not concerned about your mistakes before he comes to even meet with you.
Jesus has always been the person who says, whoever invites me in, I will be their guest.
So what if your curiosity, what if your hunger is exactly the catalyst that will allow the Lord to come in and sit with you.
This is an invitation. Maybe you're thinking that I can't keep going.
So there you go.
There we go.
James,
Go Impact
you're
TV.
saying some good stuff there. So guys,
It's
be
me.
excited.
I think you were saying some good stuff too, sir.
Well, thank you. But yeah, so if you're on Facebook and you use the Facebook, just know the video is not going to go live on Facebook. You have to go to goimpactva.tv and it'll be live on our YouTube. So what you need to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you go to goimpactva.tv right now, you can actually click the view channel button, hit subscribe, click the notification bell to make sure that you don't miss a single premiere, anything that happens on our YouTube channel. Goimpactva.tv.
And you'll still be able to comment in the sections and everything like that when you're watching online at the Go ImpactVA.tv. So we still want you to comment. We still want you to participate. We still want you to share, like, share. And what we'll do is we'll put a post up on that Sunday morning. And all you have to do is share that post. Share that post with your friends. Share that post with your family. Go into your text messages, copy and paste that same post so that people see it spreads the word of what God is doing at Impact Church. Speaking of that, what God is doing at Impact Church. You know, I've talked to a lot of people that during this pandemic, they told me that the testimonies that have gone on through their homes and their relationships and in their lives, although it has been hard. That's what I want to talk about. During this time, we're at it's been like a year now. It's March, you know, like the 23rd, I think, is what I remember. When everything started shutting down, it was like the 21st, the 23rd. I don't really know exactly the time, but what I do know is that it's been about that long, and it's people have been going through some stuff, and so I want to hear from you guys. I just want to hear, type amen in the comment section right there, and just say, you know, I've come through. We've all come through sometimes. I know we've come through some times together, Jesse. You know, we had a passing of a dear friend, and that really had us, you know, almost just like a deer in the headlight, right? But God is faithful. He walked us through it. He's healing our hearts at the same time. And, you know, we know that we'll get to see him again.
Yeah,
That's
true. That's true. Man, God's still healing our hearts. That's actually a lot that you guys will hear when you tune in this Sunday. Just to give you even more of a sneak peek on miracles. It's funny, you know, Jay and I talk all the time. This is where these conversations come from. And when we discovered we were going to be having a conversation about miracles, and by the time we both got to put our heads together, it's like, hey, what are you thinking? Well, what are you thinking? And we both had this concept of internal miracles, the miracle that happens inside because of what God does to heal our heart. And when times are the toughest, the invitation to do that is the greatest. Yeah. And think about when you go to have surgery to really do work on the inside, it requires a cutting, a slicing open. Now, you could clearly say, I'm in the worst condition right now, but you're actually set up for an internal miracle. And the way to go about that, the best being with the Lord is curiosity and kindness. And that kindness, you know, really just being grace for yourself, grace for others when they're going through stuff, especially when you're going through stuff together. There were days when I just wasn't a nice person. And Jay's like, you're not nice. I'm like, I don't even know why. I think I'm just stressed. I think I'm grieving. I think I'm just whatever. And so his kindness towards me while I'm trying to be kind to myself, like, I don't even know who I am and why I feel like I do. I just feel. And I'm going to allow myself to sit here and until, you know, the Lord begins to help me work on, like, figure this out, really connect with me. What's going on here? So, guys, it's not easy. but miracles happen. And I think a lot of times we don't give enough weight to the internal miracles.
No, I think that a lot of times we only see like the miracles where something happens, eyes opening, somebody getting up to walk. We don't recognize the miracles that happen pretty much every day in our hearts, within our minds, of God keeping us. And I think that that's what we really want people to understand, not just God is doing, all of them are considered miracles, but I think that we just have to pay attention to what God is doing, because a lot of people are like, God's never done anything for me. Maybe you're in that situation right now, or maybe you've walked away from God during this pandemic because you're like, man, I'm so lost and I have nobody to talk to. I'm by myself. Maybe that's happening to you. But we want to let you know that that's not true, that that's a trick, that's a lie. We can still persevere on. We can push through. We are going to make it.
Yeah.
We're going to make it.
I actually looked at the word miracle in the Bible, and in the Greek, it says this: a force or a strength, power, ability, inherent power, the power residing in a thing by virtue of its nature, or which a person or thing exerts and puts forth. Power for performing miracles, moral power and excellence of soul, the power and influence which belongs to riches and wealth. And it just goes on some more things. But I love that right here in the beginning, it's talking about strength, power, ability, your inherent power. And when we have come into the family of Christ, we've said yes to the invitation that Jesus gave us by dying on the cross. And now we walk into the household of the family of God. And now he's our Father, which means we're his kids. We now have inherent miraculous power on the inside. And if to really work miracles outside, and here's the funny part about this whole process in my own life, Jay, is that I was actually asking the Lord, what's the secret? What's the formula? How do I, what's the trick to performing more external miracles? You know what he did? He pointed inside, because inside, what this is saying is the source. And if you're maxed out with so you can't drive your car anymore if you run out of gas, if what's on the inside is empty, or if you put diesel in a gasoline, if what's on the inside is not it's what's good for it to run on, that car is not going anywhere. And you may actually destroy its driving force. And God was saying, we need to look on the inside. That you're empty in some tanks and you got diesel in some gas tanks. And so we need to fill some stuff up, and we need to transform some other things so that you can begin to actually get what's in you out. And it's the journey has been, it's been serious, guys. It's not easy. It's not easy. But when you have that vision, the Bible says without vision, people cast off restraint or they perish. So if you have the vision of just knowing, and I want to say to some people that are watching right now, God has a vision for your life. Don't lose the vision. The vision is for you to walk in all that he has for you, to be healthy, to be whole. And you may have felt like you're the farthest away from your dreams as possible, but what if where you are is actually still the process to getting there? You've just had to shift internally. And so I think that's Jay, we were talking about this the other day, that we've seen that 2020 was a large invitation for most people to focus on the internal part of the development of themselves to their journey.
The other thing that I've seen is a lot of people stop focusing on that internal journey, right? Because there were so many things going on outside of inside. There were so many things like Facebook, the media, everything. A lot of those things were all over the place. There was racial injustice. There was the COVID. There was the vaccine. There was the money. There was politics. There was gas prices. Like all this stuff is distractions from what God really wants us to focus on.
Yeah.
Right? He says, the grass withereth and the flower fadeth, but the word of the Lord stands forever. And so I think that what we have to do is start looking at what his word says. What does the word say about my life? What does the word say about me personally? What does the word say about what I should do, the way that I should move, the way I should react, the way that I should love people? And I think that there is where we find those eternal miracles, because we're constantly growing. I've been through some situations that have really directly pointed to where I needed to grow in, and things that I needed to grow out of.
There you
That's,
go.
man, that's tough. Growing out of things, right? Like some of us probably still have favorite toys or shirts or things like that. It's it, you know what I mean? Like we've grown out of situations, but we keep putting ourselves back into them because we miss it. We miss what we felt like when we had that toy. You know, we miss what we felt like when we had that drug, when we had that thing.
So true. That's good. That's good. I know for me, practically, if you're listening to us and you're trying to figure out, well, what does it look like to really do internal work and allow that to happen? Curiosity, kindness. What are you guys getting at? Well, here's what you do. Okay, you live life. You live life. But as you are living life, here's one thing that I know that I grew up learning how to be really good at. When you, as a kid, you just want to be a good kid, right? And when you're in church, I grew up in church, you want to be a good Christian, right? So, and as an employee, you want to be a good employee. And so what this looks like is in a short term is behavior modification. Is that if you're just trying to, oh, I snap back at my mother, so I need more kindness and gentleness, and I just start to try to engineer it. Oh, I'm having a feeling of anger, but I know anger is going to get me in trouble, so let me actually have the appropriate response. You are changing your behavior. Now, that's not a bad thing, but let's take that same example for a second. And so, Pastor Jay, you've got 17 children.
Shut up.
I have one. And here's what I know about kids, especially when they are developing in being able to communicate, is that even we were talking about Maya, Jay's youngest daughter, is that she will cry and have a whole fit. She actually just had one a few minutes before this
We were talking
video. Right. There's something happening inside of her that's causing her to express like this. And as a good dad, you're not thrown off by the fit that she's throwing, because what you really know and basing your decisions on is what is really going on inside. You're looking at what's going on in her little brain and the whole, like, why is she reacting this way? So if I get angry and I'm angry, but I've got enough self-control to just be kind and change it, that's one thing. But curiosity says, why do I have this initial reaction? Because as we really walk into wholeness, healing says that temperature, that anger won't rise up like it does, because I'm actually addressing why I'm having this issue. Now, this is not an easy thing to do, and it's not an overnight, just easy answer. Let me just turn a switch. It looks like inviting.
It takes hard work.
It does take hard work. How we live, how we're taught, experiences that we have make us have internal reactions that we necessarily can't help. So when you got to go look at what put those reactions in place and really have the Lord help you. Like, God, why am I like this? And Jay, I know for me, it's like the Holy Spirit or the Lord would bring back memories of experiences that I had as a kid or in relationships. Like, I think this started here. I adopted a new belief system that said, you know what? My heart getting broken. Really,
we were talking about that. Remember, we were talking about how our perspective or our situations or however we react are based on how we were raised as children.
Yeah.
What we experience as children, right? And if we don't deal with some of those spaces, that they will come back up in another part of our life. Somebody told me this. They said, your kids will express what you suppress. So whatever I shove down back in the bag, whatever I shove down back in that bag will come back up. It will one day bust through that bag. It will one day bust through that straw. It will one day bust through that cup. Whatever you're holding your stuff in, I'm going to use, since, we're Christians, whatever we're holding our stuff in will eventually bust out of that bag.
Yeah. And then you'll be mad because you can't control it and you can no longer perform externally to the level that you used to. And there's going to be people, I've had friends or people around me that they don't have the patience. They didn't know they were signing up for that version of me. So now that I'm not as amazing or controlled or ability to be all that they need me to be, relationships get rocky or they shift. That's why it's so good that not only are we kind to ourselves, but we're kind to others when they're in that process. Say, hey, you know what? I noticed that you're upset. Can we ask the question together? Where do you think that comes from? But that takes like me not reacting immediately to what you're saying or how you're hitting me, but going, hey, where is that coming from? I said that to a friend of mine before. We were having a conversation, and the way they reacted, it just felt. You ever had someone just react and it feels like 100 times greater than what you thought the conversation level was? And it just hit me. You know what? I feel like there's more to this with you. Where do you think this is coming from? And instead of just saying like, hey, don't be so angry, don't whatever, it actually turned into a whole open heart.
I bet everybody looked at their phones right when they heard that. When they heard your computer going off, everybody looked at their phones because that is everybody's ringtone right now.
Yeah, guess who's calling me? The only Terrence Howell. I love you, Terrence. Clearly not watching our Facebook Live.
Clearly. Listen, okay, so back to what you were saying. Sorry. I just thought that was funny. Start ringing. I'm like, yeah. But so we talked about where our hearts are, how our hearts are doing. So what happens is this, right? We go through something, it hardens a piece of our heart. Okay. We go through something else, it hardens another piece. And all of a sudden, our hearts seem like they're dead to emotions, dead to relationships, dead to love, dead to caring, right? Compassion, all those things, right? So that's why we see people on Facebook as Christians posting things, and you say like, man, I thought that they were a Christian. I thought that they cared. It's not the fact that they're not a Christian. It's the fact that they've gone through things in their lives to where their heart has become cold to the compassion of people. Right. So what happens is Ezekiel 36 says this. He says this. He said, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you new flesh. So the only way of reconnecting, plugging back in is actually spending time with God. It's not spending time with your best friend. Trust me, I know Jesse's my brother. Right. But when we go through that process, a lot of that process is done alone on the floor while I'm crying out to God, or I'm in my prayer closet, or I'm at work, or I'm in the car, I'm turning the music off and listening to what God is saying to me, right? It's a wilderness experience, but it's an experience that you can't put off, right? If you put it off, it will come later on in life. If you put your wilderness experience off, it will come back later on in life with a vengeance.
That's so true. And I'll add to that scripture is that's not a simple automatic one and done thing when you respond to the gospel message and give your life to Jesus. Yes, it happens, but there's also it's a continual process. There are places that we can't even give to the Lord because they're locked up. We don't have access to. I found that there was parts of my heart I didn't even have access to. I knew that after life traumatic things, after divorce, after deaths of my parents and a best friend, that I was emotionally different than I was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. I knew. And Jay, I didn't even know. I was like, I don't know how I got here. I just know that along the way, I had pain that hurt and I didn't want to feel it. So I turned that soft heart that was hurting into stone, because stone does not hurt.
Doesn't. You get hit with
it. Right. So even though I've been a Christian my whole life, guys, and I love the Lord, I've served the Lord passionately and very faithfully, I had stone parts in my heart and still do. I'm sure. I don't even know what I don't know anymore. All I know is that anytime I hit myself in the head or somebody else in the head with a piece of stone, I'm like, oh, is that me? Did that come from me? God, what's going on here?
Right. But yeah, we're running around hitting people in the head with stones because our heart ain't right. Because our heart is not in the right position. So we're hitting people in the head. We're thinking that we're helping people. Right? Like, I had to come to that realization. Like, I used to have a really, really bad temper, right? Just fly off, say whatever. I don't care. You realize, like, when you start seeing people hurt by the words that you say and the way that you do things, like, man, maybe it's me. Like, I was having a conversation with my little brother, right? And we were like having a conversation of like, are we toxic? You have to ask yourself questions that only you can answer. Right? That only yourself can answer. The reflection is such a beautiful thing, because if I look in the mirror and I see more of my reflection, that means I need to go back into my prayer closet. Because when I look in the mirror, I want to see Jesus. I want to see the reaction of Jesus. I don't want to see the reaction of myself anymore. I'm tired of myself. I'm tired of myself. Right? Make me like Jesus. We sing that song all the time. Like, my heart is an open space for you to move and have your way. I'm open. Make me like Jesus. That has to be our prayer call. Like, I want to be more and more like you, Lord. Like, I know that I grew up and I fought all my life and I was in gangs and I did drugs but I want to be like you, Lord. I don't want to be like the substances that I abused. I don't want to be like the people that I abuse. I want to be like you, Jesus. Like, revamp my heart, my mind thoughts, what I'm doing, Lord. Like, help me see the people in my life like you see them. Like, that is a prayer that will take you past you.
Yeah.
Let me see the people like you see them. Even the people that have hurt me, let me see them like you see them.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem when the Lord comes to help you answer that prayer, is that it oftentimes comes with a need to pause external production so you can do internal process.
Say that one more time.
That you got to pause external production in order to focus on that internal process. And
so you're telling me that you got to stop everything that you're doing and focus. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. And here's the double-sided hard part about that. The American dream world, how are you doing, brother? Oh, I'm busy. Life is good. We got so much daggone busyness. We don't even know how to pause, even if we wanted to, in our mind, externally, in our production. Either our schedules are so full because that's where we get our confidence and our identity from, or they're so full because we're afraid that we won't have the provision that we need. So first, you got to rest in knowing that God, as your loving Father, has put a grace around your life to be a kid. And if you say, God, make me like Jesus, like Jay just said, make me like Jesus, turn my heart of stone into a heart of flesh, trust him in the way that he leads you into the manifestation or the outworking or the reality of that prayer. Don't think it's going to be as simple as you felt the Lord's presence in one prayer meeting. This is day in and day out, walking with the Lord. Jesus every day before he performed any miracle, you know what he did? He spent time with his Father, and he constantly gave thanks with the Lord. So you'll never graduate from the process of sitting with the Lord and being with him and allowing him to not help you see the places where, or to help you see the places where, you know, you need that stone heart to come back to life, where you need healing, where it's you, you know, God will hold the mirror up to you. But what I love about the Lord too, is he will also take shame and condemnation off of you. Sometimes we use shame and condemnation to help us just be better, but you're not actually transforming. You're just band-aiding your performance. You're not actually. So you got to be okay with not being okay. God's okay with you not being okay. He just wants to sit with you and talk about it. And he doesn't need you to get it right now. That's what grace and mercy is for. His mercies are new every day, every morning. They are new. Whew.
New every morning.
Yeah.
Well, let's guys, I know that there's a lot of information. It's a little piece of what God is doing in us, you know, and we want to share that with you. I know that journey is not always easy. And so what we want to let you know is that we're here. We have pastoral care at Impact Church. If you need to call, talk to somebody, we want you to do that. All right. You can go to our website and view it. Also, our number for pastoral care, just, you have that slide?
Actually, I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah. But we're going to post it right now, right there. Impact Cares. You're doing lost loved ones. You need help in any kind of way. We're here for you. Call or text 757-901-9988. Or you can email staff@goimpactva.com. Seriously, do not walk through this life by yourself. You don't need it. Trust me. Me and Jesse talk all the time. And we influence each other's lives. We can tell each other the truth when we see each other out of pocket. And out of pocket, I mean like not being what God has called us to be. Doesn't mean that we're not going to judge that person. We're going to be there with them. We're going to tell them, and we're going to walk through it with them. That's how you do it. We love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, Sunday. This Sunday, our new starts. Miracles can happen now, right? Miracles. We want you guys to go to goimpactva.tv. You can watch it there. The reason why it's better for us in that place, because Facebook is censoring a lot of things, taking down a lot of things not working sometimes, but here it will always work. So we're doing the work so that we can work. We love you guys, and thank you for tuning in. We will see you next Sunday. This is Jay, and that's
Jesse. And you've been watching Thursday Thoughts. Have a great evening.